theatre, I suppose. The last call out to specific cast members I want to give is to Sheldon D. Brown, who played Private CJ Memphis. And this was an interesting performance because Sheldon is a jacked, really tall, really powerful looking man, but he's playing the meek, musical, kind of airheaded Private Memphis who has a really tragic story through the show. You grow to love him very quickly, but there's a lot of sadness associated with his character arc. And he especially has quite a lot of focus in the beginning of Act 2. And I wasn't sure at the beginning of the show if Sheldon, the actor playing him, maybe had some form of maybe Tourette's or something similar. I couldn't be sure, but he had mannerisms that he was displaying through the show that were just really unique. And at first, again, I was like, okay, I'm not sure if that's just Sheldon or if that's the character that he's playing or what. So at the end of the show, I was like, oh, I want to learn more about who this guy is. I'm really interested. Turns out I watched an interview with him from about a year ago for a short film that he worked on. And Sheldon, a couple of years ago now, was hit in a drive-by shooting in Chicago and couldn't walk for months, had all sorts of like bags and things to just help him live with his kidneys, etc. And he fought through all that, survived, found a way to creatively express some of the things that he'd been living with through that film that he'd worked on. I think it was called Cicada. And then said in this interview, like, I really want to get back on stage and do some more stage work. And here he is today. And I just thought it was really wonderful that this man had gone through something so traumatic and so tragic. And in this interview I watched with him said, you have to find ways to keep moving in spite of the trauma. And he clearly, as far as I was concerned, was personifying this trauma and reliving this trauma in many ways in his depiction of CJ in the show today. And so all of the contortion of his body and this real look of woundedness at all times, this smile that was almost too happy, like it was a smile that was fixed there and held in a grip that wasn't his own. It was a look of real possession almost at certain moments. And I can't help but feel like that was really inspired by a lot of the pain and the suffering that he's gone through in his own life and that he brought to the stage in a really wonderful and cathartic way, I hope at least for him, on stage today. So I want to call out his performance as being especially good. I think there is a world where I would have seen that and gone, oh, he's trying to look like he's got some kind of condition, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. But I think in this instance, it wasn't that he was trying to convey that sense of otherness, but rather he was, or at least I hope, trying to convey some of the feeling that he has had inside him this whole time, since that horrible thing happened to him, and finding its own way to release. And so I see his performance as a triumph today, and something that I really wanted to commend. Now, I mentioned that there was music in the show. There is